Okay, so let's begin. So this is our fourth class. Okay, so I have shared the previous three videos through a link. So if you have not got that link, let me know so that I will be able to send it again. So I'm just sharing my phone number. If anyone are joining newly, in order to get like next class details, just ping me. Okay, so I'm just sharing my number in the chat. Okay, so far what we have done is, guys, are you able to listen to me? Like, am I audible? Yes. Okay, good. Okay, so far what we have done is, we have actually looked into how to set up Flutter. Okay, how to set up Flutter on your desktop machines, and then in case if you are unable to set up, I have provided some alternate options where you can start the coding. Okay, so if you're not having Flutter setup installed, you can use Dartpad. Okay, just go to Google, search for Dartpad. Okay, so I'm just typing it over here, DA. So, and then open the initial site. I think it will be dartpad.dev. So that is where you can actually write the Flutter programs. Okay, if you have already got your Flutter setup installed, you can use the existing setup. Okay, so and uh, like since if you have not already configured the emulators part, um, like try to get the emulator up and running. Okay, so like don't think like let me connect my physical device and do it. So the problems you might have if you connect your physical devices, it will be time consuming. Okay, so you have to move there, like you have to connect wires and everything. Sometimes the app will not load properly. Okay, these kind of issues will be there. Okay, I'm not exactly sure whether hot reload or hot restart will work, hot reload will work or not. I'm exactly not sure if you are connecting a device. Okay, so somebody can confirm actually if you are actually using a device. But still, if you are having an RAM like 6 GB or 8 GB RAM, allocate some RAM to it and then make it up and running. Okay, so as I said, if you're having 4 GB of RAM in your computer, you won't be able to set it up. Okay, it's not a good idea to set it up. Okay, why means operating system needs 3 GB of RAM. Okay, and 1 GB of RAM for other programs to run. Okay, so if you are running Android Studio itself, that will be running by taking that 1 GB of space, and you won't be able to set up other devices like emulators or virtual devices. You won't be able to run it. Okay, so in my case, in my computer I have 16 GB of RAM, so that uh, if I leave 3 GB of RAM to computer and 1 GB for other programs like Visual Studio Code or Android Studio, I will still have 12 GB left to run virtual devices. So 12 GB means I can run, if I am allocating 4 GB for each virtual device, I can run 3 virtual devices, like one for Windows, one for Linux, one for some emulator. Okay, like that. And I can configure so many virtual devices, and only when it is running it will take the RAM. When it is not running, it will not take the RAM. Okay, so why I am sharing this is, it's very important to understand how your programs consume RAM. Okay, so we all know that there is something RAM, okay, hard disk. We really don't know, okay, how these things are consumed by programs. So always remember that operating system needs 3 GB of RAM. Okay, if you are writing some Java program, okay, it will take that 1 GB of RAM only. If you are having 4 GB, 3 GB will be occupied by OS, 1 GB will be used by the programs. Virtual devices, for running virtual devices which are emulators or simulators, you need more than 4 GB. Okay, 6 GB is okay if you are giving 2 GB to your emulator. 8 GB is good. Anything more than 8 GB, 16 GB, like that, okay, it's like you can run multiple emulators and everything. You can do whatever you want. Okay, so that's where when you're purchasing a computer, you need to ensure that you are having more than 4 GB of RAM. Okay, storage wise, like if you are having SSD, it will be much faster. Okay, if you're having HDD and if you're having good processor, it will be fast enough. Okay, if you are having a low end processor, uh, then you need to have SSD also. But these things, like if everything combined together will offer you fast speed. Okay, having a good RAM doesn't offer you speed. Having a good SSD together with RAM together with processor will offer you speed. So that's why it's important to have like faster computers. So if you have a faster computer, it will be easy to set up new software and get up and running. Okay, probably most of you might have faces some problems while setting up. That's all because of space issues or no enough RAM. Okay, so in case if you are purchasing a new laptop, maybe in future, consider these points. Okay, you can also contact me so that I can suggest you that this will be useful. Okay, anything beyond sixth generation will be good. Okay, don't go below sixth generation. Okay, seventh, eighth and ninth are good. Even 10th, now we have 10th generation of processors. Okay, maybe if you are more interested in knowing about processors and all this stuff, I can, like, whenever I'm teaching these classes, I will try to add some information about it so that you'll know about how this hardware helps you with software development. Okay, in my case I'm having 16 GB of RAM, SSD, 8th generation processor. Okay, so you can check that information like this. Okay, okay, system information. There are multiple places you can check actually. Okay, so this is one of the places you can check. So you can see 16 GB of RAM, processor, uh, SSD information. I am not sure whether it will be shown here or not, but somewhere it will be definitely there. Okay, okay, so you can see the processors. Okay, 12 logical processors. Okay, all this information will be available here. So let's begin with the actual programming part. So for now we have done the setup. So from today onwards we are actually going to start writing the programs. Okay, so when I say when we are going to write some programs for Flutter development, don't imagine like you are going to write something like in C, something like in C++, Java. No, don't think like that. Okay, so here, like when it comes to Flutter development, you will be able to see output instantly. Okay, for example, the very first program we wrote yesterday, like we didn't write actually, we actually compiled the default program, right? That is the that is actually giving you a product output. Okay, so whereas in Java, C++, that will give console output. Okay, so they are also, they also can be used as products, but we are in a we are in a era where like we like this GUI stuff, apps and everything. For just imagine if Twitter or TikTok is a console application. Okay, you won't be using that, right? You are using that because they are GUI applications, like they have got nice user interface. So in Flutter you will be able to develop nice user interfaces, nice applications. So the from the very first beginning, whatever you write, that will be an app in your mobile phone. Okay, so as simple as that. So that's where uh, we are, like we become much interested, like we are actually developing projects using Flutter. Okay, you are not writing some algorithms. Okay, you are not writing some if condition. You see, here you are not writing some if conditions, for loops, do. You're not coming here to write that. You are coming here to write some projects. Okay, so from this point onwards, whatever you want to do on computer, okay, don't think like I want to read about fundamentals. Okay, don't think like that. Think like, let me develop an app. Okay, and then during that process you will use all this for loop, if loop and all those stuff. Okay, so having a right mindset is important. Okay, when you are opening Flutter, it means that you are developing a project. Okay, you are not opening Flutter to learn for loop, if loop, do while, switch case statements. Okay, remove, like forget, like I mean, upgrade yourself from that point. Okay, so like upgrade yourself to do the projects. Okay, from right now think like I want to do a project, not like I want to learn fundamentals. Okay, I want to I want to do the project. Okay, while doing the project you will learn all this stuff. Okay, so let me show you some like first of all, let me give an introduction to widgets. Okay, so when it comes to Flutter, so everything in Flutter is a widget. Okay, so everything you write is a widget. So whatever that is appearing on top of a screen, mobile screen, is a widget. Okay, so in those who are already programmers, widgets are like classes. Okay, so doesn't that mean like how do we call classes widgets as widgets in Flutter? No, not like that. We'll have classes one side and then we'll have widgets on the other side, but everything that is visible on mobile screen is a widget. When it comes to Flutter, everything that is visible on a screen is a widget. Okay, so uh, you really don't have to understand what is a widget, but you really have to remember this terminology. Okay, so you have to keep saying everything in Flutter is a widget. Okay, so there are two types of widgets in Flutter. Okay, one is stateless and stateful. Okay, stateful widgets. So everything in Flutter is a widget, and there are two types of widgets. One is stateless and stateful. So if you are already using Flutter, you might have come across one more type of widget, inherited widget. Okay, so that is something what we are not bothered during initial stages. Okay, maybe after a month or couple of months of coding, you can actually try to learn the stuff. Okay, so anyways, I will when time comes, I will try to share more information about that also. So in order to begin with Flutter, we need to know that everything in Flutter is a widget. Okay, so everything, if any project you have developed using Flutter, and if something is showing on top of a screen, that is a widget. So there are two types of widgets. One is stateful widget, stateless widget. Okay, that's how you create a widget. Okay, so in Flutter, if you take a button on a screen, that is a widget. If you take a menu, that is a widget. If you take a list view, that is a widget. If you take a grid view, that is a widget. So don't worry, like probably you might be knowing what is meant by menu, what is meant by button. So those who are not from programming background might not be aware of what is a list view or what is a grid view. Okay, so don't bother about it. I will be actually writing some programs today so that you will actually see what is a list view, what is a grid view. Okay, so this is important. Okay, so everything is a in Flutter, and we have two types of widget, stateless and stateful. So we have to remember these terms. Okay, so like don't try to by heart them, just try to read them often. When you are actually writing programs, you will get to remember all this stuff. Okay, so the next thing is UI breakdown. Okay, so let me do one thing. Okay, let me open this project. Okay, let me take this one more. So I'm going to run some project and actually show you. Okay, so like so I'm opening the emulator. So I have opened it and I'm going to run it. Control F5. Okay, so like let's not load this, let's go with this example. Okay, so here on the top of the screen you are seeing an emulator, right? So emulator, simulator. In Android, if you're running a virtual device on top of Windows, we call it emulator. If you're running a virtual device on top of MacBook, it is called simulator. Okay, so the topic now we are discussing is UI breakdown. Okay, so UI breakdown means why I want to explain this is because whenever you are going to use some app on your mobile, you need to understand that what are the components that this UI is having. Okay, so if you take this UI, there is some title over here. Okay, so this is the title. So if you are going to develop some app like track how much water a person is drinking, water drinking app, you will like water drinking tracker, you will have something like that. So this is like a search bar. Okay, search bar, whenever they click, it is loading search bar over here. So this whole stuff is called app bar. Okay, like let me do one thing. Okay, so like we are actually breaking down the stuff, right? Okay, okay, so this is a title. Okay, okay, I'm unable to write it. So let me make a bigger font. So this part of component is called title. Okay, so this whole thing is called app bar. Okay, and then if you see this one, these are called menus. Menu. Okay, menu. Okay, so if like this part is called this is like a button. Okay, but in Flutter we call it floating action button. Okay, so for now let's call it button only, don't worry about what it's called in Flutter. Okay, so this part is called the body. Okay, just like in HTML, or if you're already developed something using HTML, it's almost similar to that. Okay, this is called body. Okay, so here if you're having some buttons over here, not this navigation buttons, if you're having something in this area, that is called bottom bar. Okay, this is app bar, this is menu, this is title, body, buttons, bottom bar. Okay, so just imagine if you are going to have some items over here. Okay, so some items, one item here, one item here. Okay, so one item here. Okay, so if you're having items like sequence, this kind of model like one item, sorry, so item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4. So like usually when you go to apps like TikTok or WhatsApp, everything will be like this, like user 1, user 2, user 3, user 4. This type of interface is called, okay, list view. Sorry. Okay, so and then let me expand the screen. Okay, so if you are having an interface like this, for example, see boxes like this. If you see boxes like this, it is called grid view. Okay, so these are something which you have to learn. Okay, so the main reason like, and one thing we have to believe is these things are very easy to create in Flutter. Okay, so probably today we'll be creating most of them. If time doesn't permits, we'll continue tomorrow also. So once we learn about all these components, then we will, like, you guys can do some small projects also. And one more thing I want to mention is, so something like this, if your screen is like this and you clicked some button, okay, you clicked this button and something has opened like this, okay, say yes or no. Okay. So this kind of interface is like, this kind of widgets are called dialogues. Okay, so everybody wants to create dialogues because they'll add some very good user interface. Okay, dialogue. Okay, in Flutter it may be called with a slightly different name. Okay, so when it comes to programming languages, concepts are same, but everyone calls it with their own conventions. For example, like in Whoops concepts, it will not change. Inheritance is inheritance everywhere. Polymorphism is polymorphism everywhere. Okay, but when it comes to components, list view might be having a slightly different name. Like when you're actually coding, it will have slight differences. Okay, here they may call alert dialog or some simple dialog, something like that. Okay, so you don't have to worry about those terminologies. So is it clear, guys? Like now, like in future, if you are seeing some apps, you'll be able to understand whether it is having a list view or a grid view. When you click some OK button, if it is showing some pop-up, you will be able to know that it is a dialog. So the top bar of the, like, top part is the app bar, and then we'll have a title and then menu options. Okay, and then inside that we'll have a body, we'll have a bottom bar, and then buttons. Like this is a button. Okay, we'll have a buttons like this also. Buttons comes in various shapes. Okay, and then in Flutter, one more thing is, a simple box like this is called container. Okay, this is called container. Okay, so container may be in rectangle. Like usually the containers are in rectangle shape. Okay, so you can, if you give equal width and height, they will become square, and if you give some rounded edges, they will become circle. Okay, so even though it looks like a circle, it might be a container. Okay, so these are something. Let me see if I'm missing something. Rows and columns. Okay, so you know, right, like rows and columns means, like probably you like when something is set like this, it is called rows. Okay, when if something is shown like this, okay, this is called column. Okay, so multiple, like if you are adding multiple containers inside a column, then they will look like list view also. So which will give you an idea, like, okay, so if I add some containers inside a column, that will look like list view also. So when you have a requirement to show some list view, you have to take a decision. So do I need to go with a list view or a column widget which will have multiple containers? Okay, so this columns and rows concepts is almost similar to what you have in tables. Okay, so row means horizontal, column means vertical. Okay, I think this is very much like these concepts are fine for us to begin with some programs. So buttons, I have adding images. This is something you can see when you are actually adding some images. Adding text means, so if there is a container and if you are adding some text, that is what I meant by adding text. Okay, so material widget. Okay, so let me give some background about this material widget. Okay, so actually, you know, like probably whoever might have tried with HTML like web programming, you might have found that it is very difficult to maintain style. Okay, so for example, one button will be in one color, the other button will be in other color. You have to maintain a centralized CSS file. As the project grows, the CSS file will grow a lot, and then you will end up following a different style for each button, and new buttons will not have this like same style. Okay, so these kind of problems you'll be facing. So they like when you're when you're doing programs in HTML or JavaScript, something like that, you are having some design inconsistencies. Okay, so so in order to make design consistent, okay, there are multiple frameworks for it. One of the popular framework is Bootstrap. Okay, have you ever heard about Bootstrap? You can send the answer in chat. Okay, so Bootstrap means it's like it's an advanced concept for CSS. Like it's a library which will help you to have a consistent design across websites. Similarly, we have something called Material Design from Google. Okay, so Material Design will enforce that your app is having consistent style. Okay, so when you say add a button, all buttons will be same. When you say like the only thing you can control is size of it. Okay, so you can actually go to this site and actually check when you get some time, but this doesn't have much information. Okay, it will say that something like this. Okay, let me scroll. So if I go to layout, for example, understanding layout, so predictive responsive. Okay, so here also they are actually breaking out the UI. Okay, responsive. So there will be a lot of information in this site. You can actually go through it when you get some time. You don't have to read anything from this site, but when like try to understand what they are saying. So what they are trying to do is they're trying to make your app going to have some consistent designs. So whenever you add a button inside Flutter app, okay, button or column, container, whatever, all containers will look same. Okay, the things you can control are like limited. Okay, shape, even though if you are controlling those things, still they will try to look similar. Okay, but if you don't want to look similar, you can actually change multiple properties and get it done. Okay, so we will stop it here. So Material Design is used for consistent design across your app. So which means that you are getting rid of CSS. Okay, so you don't have to bother about creating some styles for your buttons, blah 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 blah. Okay, but we actually have to create them, but they will be really very consistent and you'll be able to easily follow them. Okay, so for example, navigation, understanding navigation. Okay, so if you see like most of the apps will be having similar menu, which means that that's because of Material Design only. Okay, bottom bar will be same. Okay, so if you go for menu, you can see there is a menu here, menu on this side, pets, okay, and tab bar. Okay, so there are a lot of things. So tab bar and navigation will be discussing in like maybe upcoming classes, but not now. So I want everybody to ensure like everybody to be comfortable with these widgets. Okay, and then app bar, bottom bar. At the like after this you can actually write some small projects to see how it goes. Okay, so let me start with the project. So okay, I will give this aside. So in order to create a new project, go to view, command palette, Flutter new project, give some name, Flutter UI demo. Okay, demo 2. I'm giving, like, I already have got a project created with demo, so I'm just pressing enter, and then I'm just creating in whatever folder I want to create. Okay, so don't try to create it now. Just follow me, and then look, see how the project is actually growing. Okay, then you will be able to understand, okay, so this is how we code. Okay, so while coding I will be using some automatic generations, like automatic code generations and everything, which will actually help me to speed up the things. Okay, see, when you are using IDE, coding is not like editing. Okay, not like editing in Notepad. So you'll have a lot of tools which will help you with code generations. Okay, so as I was saying, so main.dart file is the file where you actually code. Okay, so you can actually remove everything. So I don't want default tab to be there. Okay, so in order to ensure that I am not getting any errors, what I will usually do is I will run the first program. Okay, so whatever that came along with the when I created the initial app, I will ensure it is loading fine. Okay. And one more thing is, don't try to write some notes. What I will do is I will make sure that all these programs are available to you, so that you can actually go to them and type. Give me a second. Somebody is ringing the bell. Give me Okay, so I'm back. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I will, like, what I'm saying is I will share all the code, all the examples you want to practice, so you don't waste your time writing the notes and everything, because when you write something and try to type again, you will obviously miss something and you will end up with some errors which will make things difficult. Okay, so while programming, it is very important that, like, whether it's important to see the output, okay, rather than what code is there. It's actually important to see the output, what this program is doing. Like, don't bother about what is this extends keyword, what is the stateless widget. Don't bother about those things. Why override, widget, build content, what does it mean? Don't, while you are actually starting with something, don't bother about these things. But when you are actually coding for a month or couple of months, you will understand everything. Okay, everything, how the flow is, everything. You will be able to write some beautiful apps. Okay, so for now, stick with basics, write some basics app. I will try to show you how we can actually write some, write some basic widgets. Okay, so I just keep this on the other side just for reference. I'm not going to look into it also. I'm just going to go with the flow only. Just in case if I'm going to hit some error, like, uh, in case. Okay, actually today morning only I prepared it just in case, like, just to ensure that we will not stop with issues. Okay, so what the first thing I'm going to do is, so for every app in Flutter, we need a stateless widget or stateful widget. Okay, so there are two types of widget: stateless widget, stateful widget. Okay, so during initial stages you will be using both, but as time passes on, you will be avoiding stateful widget as much as possible. Okay, so the thing what you have to concentrate more on, using stateless widget everywhere. Okay, so I will tell, today we will write some small programs. Okay, possibly we will be using only stateless widget only. When we are actually using stateful widget, I will try to explain why we have to use stateful widget. Okay, so now, as I said, we are going to use stateless widget. Okay, I'm going to just type ST in Visual Studio Code, and it is going to show me some recommendations: stateless widget and stateful widget. So as I said, we are going to use stateless widget, I'm going to just select it and I'm going to give something like my app. Okay, and you can see some lines, red lines over here, right? So these lines are called squiggly lines. Okay, red squiggly lines. In order to resolve them, what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Control and dot. Okay, or I can just click on here, I guess. Okay, so I can click on this bulb, okay, which shows me some recommendation. It is saying that it is giving me some suggestions. Okay, so as I already know that I need to import library. Okay, I need to import material dot dot. I think you can also import Cupertino, which knows what is meant by stateless widget. I think you have to do this for Mac development. Okay, Mac development is like you can still use material dot dot also, which will be internally calling Cupertino. Okay, so just go with this. Okay, so don't worry about why exactly we are calling this. Don't worry about those things. As time passes on, you will know the stuff. And then so this program is having a class my app, okay, which is extending stateless widget. So extends is a keyword for inheritance. Okay, so which means that we are actually extending stateless widget into my app. So whatever methods or properties available in stateless widget will be accessible over here. But that doesn't mean that you need to be aware of what methods stateless widget support. Okay, you don't have to worry about it. So if you are really interested in knowing about internals, what you can do is you can hover it and read this stuff. Okay, so initial stages it will not make any sense, okay, but as time passes on it will make some sense to you. So right click, if you want to check the code, actual code, go to definition and actual code is here. Okay, so since Flutter is open source, the whole code of Flutter will be accessible to you. Okay, the whole code, the backend code and everything. Okay, so everything will be accessible to you. You can actually go here and try to understand some stuff. So maybe probably you might have heard abstract class, right? So abstract class means a class which cannot be initialized, okay, which can be only inherited in order to use. Okay, so these kind of things you will learn, okay, when you actually learn C++. So don't spend too much time learning this C++ fundamentals. Try like 2 hours and leave it, 2 hours every month and leave it, okay, so that you will understand. So whatever programming we are doing is in OOPS concepts only, because we are using classes, we are using something like override. Don't worry about what is override. And then we are actually creating some widget. So widget, okay, widget build context, you don't have to bother about what this code is because it is auto generated. So and we are actually returning a container. This is where actually we do the work. So in order to make this app run, we need a starting point. So in programming we know that main is the starting point. So for that, void main of I'm giving, and in order to run this class and make it appear on the mobile screen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give something like run app of my app of. Okay, so I just initialized this class over here. Maybe if you're from C++, you will be seeing that my app, small my app is equal to new my app now. That's how we initiate the class in C or C++, like C++. But whereas in Flutter, it's like plain English only. Okay, so we are just calling my app from run app. We are actually initializing this class. This is probably equal to my app is equal to new my app of. Okay, so we have actually created container over here, but you are unable to see anything. That's because the container doesn't have any properties. So every widget will have some properties. So container is a widget here. Okay, and to be precise, my app is also a widget. You can combine multiple widgets to create more widgets. Okay, so I can combine 2 containers to make another container. Okay, so for now let me go with container. Let me give it a color. So colors dot red. So now the container is red in color. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me give a height and width and see what will happen. So I have given 100 width and 100 height, and you can see that it's not at all changing anything. That's because that's how Flutter works. Okay, so when the just container is given, it will ignore some properties. It will not worry about height or width because it's like there is nothing behind this container. Okay, so in order to make it actually height, like in order to make height and width reflect, what you can do is you can just click here, click on this bulb, wrap with center. So you are actually adding something called center. Center is also a widget in Flutter. So basically everything is a widget. So here we combine two widgets. The two widgets are center and container, and let's see what will happen now. Okay, now you can see that the actual container has reduced its size to height 100, width 100. So I can change these properties and see how it grows. Okay, width wise. Okay, so right now what we have done is we have created a widget that has a container. So basically we have created a container example. So if I give some both width and height same, it's a square. Okay, in order to make it circle, we might have to do some more work. Okay, so that, but it will be easy, like just see yourself after coding for 2 weeks. Okay, try to type this stuff and see how it works, change some properties, and see how it works. Okay, so after this, after coding some more things, I will actually show you how from where you can get all these properties also. So what I can do is, like, in order to get the properties, what I can do is I can just go here and press control space. It will show me some recommendations. Okay, margin, padding. Okay, these things are like very similar to what you have heard in like CSS. Okay, cascading. CSS is a styling, like CSS stands for cascading style sheets. If you don't know what it means, is just go and Google and try to learn. Like, don't spend so much time reading this stuff. That is not useful. Okay, useful in the sense that is not useful for mobile development. Okay, if you are doing web development, that is important. Okay, so if I'm going to add some margin padding, it doesn't make any sense because there is nothing to add margin and padding. You can try to add some margin like 100.0. Okay, so it doesn't take anything. So actually I had to give edge inserts dot all. Okay, nothing changes. Okay, this is how we actually okay, so now actually you can see within the center it has changed a bit because from here it has given 100% margin. So how come I will know that I have to give edge insets? Okay, so if I hover my mouse over here, it says that it requires edge insets geometry. Okay, so what I can do is I can actually type edge insets geometry, and I will try to give edge inserts off. So but nothing has happened. Let me see if, and like for recommendations I have checked like control dot, and then nothing has shown me. So what I can do is I can just go to the definition and try to get some stuff from over here. Okay, so it's an abstract class, which means that you cannot instantiate. Okay, I cannot run this kind of code. Only if this keyword is not there, I will be able to do it. Okay, so if I go in depth inside it, I will be able to understand. Okay, so if I scroll down, they have mentioned like some documentation will be always there. You have to go through it and try to understand. Okay, so it will, like, this will be like it's too early to go through this documentation, so we'll leave it now. Okay, so since I already know that edge inserts dot all should be used, and we can give some value over here. The reason why we are giving 300.0 is because height is a double. You can see, right, this is a double. Okay, if it is an integer, we just have to give something like this. If it is double, we have to give something like this. Okay, so for today, like for now, we have created container. Okay, in the similar way, if I want to add some text inside container, what I can do is I can just press some enter over here and press control dot dot. Okay, so it didn't show any recommendation. Let me, okay, let me go somewhere over here. Okay, and I press enter, and it is showing that it will take some child element. Okay, as I said, everything is a widget in Flutter. Text is also a widget in Flutter. So if you want to pass a widget to another widget, you have to declare like child. Okay, so I will give child colon text of, and then give hello world. Okay, so actually this will not run now. Okay, because like there is no special reason why it is not running. Okay, but Google expects you to use material design for your apps. As I said, material design help you to follow some standards, right? Like uh, what standards? Like will it like uniform standards? Okay, or any button, any text you add will look similar. Okay, so I need to, in order to fix this, I need to give a directionality widget. So text direction, something like this I can give. Okay, it has shown hello world. In order to make it center, what I can do is I can just click here and then I can give center. Okay, hello world has moved to center. So if I can experiment like this. Okay, nothing has changed. Okay, so okay, you can actually try it and see what's changing, what's not changing. Okay, so we have like there will be something like this. Okay, okay, so this is called a widget tree. Okay, so you can see that center is a widget, container is a widget, center is a widget, text is a widget. We have container on top, so center on top, inside we place a container, inside we place a center, and then text. Okay, so we actually use 4 widgets here. Even my app, you can see it's a widget. Like I think this icon possibly standing for stating that it's a widget. Okay, clear guys so far? I think you'll be having so many queries for sure. My recommendation is go ahead and start typing. Okay, like start typing some programs, copy paste, and try to execute and see the output. Okay, so I will stop it here. I'll not stop. Like let me go to the code and minimize this, everything. Let me see the code. So in order to add a button, what I can do is, so I want to have a button under this text. Okay, so see, in Flutter, whenever if something is child, like telling the child, so I have one child. Like when you are speaking English, I have one child only. You'll not say I have two childs. We'll say that I have two children. Okay, so if center says that it accepts only child, it means that center can have only one child. Okay, so within this center, container is child. Within this container, this center is child. Within this center, this text is child. Okay, apart from that, like center, container, center, text, all these are widgets. Even this edge insets also might be a container, like not widget. Okay, this text direction also might be a widget. Okay, so don't bother about it for now, but we'll see that the center, container, okay, everything is a widget in Flutter. Okay, that is important to understand. So let me do one thing. I will change this to something called column. Okay, and immediately when I change this to column, you can see this has thrown some error. Okay, let me not change it. Let me see what are the recommendations. Okay, it is not showing anything. Let me comment it. Actually, like I messed up with my IDE, or probably the most recent update has messed my IDE. That's why I'm not getting code recommendations properly. In your case, you might get. Okay. Oh, that's bad. So let me remove this. Okay, anyways, I know that what I need to give. Okay, so I need to give something like this, children. Okay, so when I type children, it is showing this. So this means that it needs children of. Okay, this, see, this symbol means that it accepts a list of something. Okay, so that's how we declare list in Flutter, like Flutter or Dart. Okay, so I'm going to give some multiple widgets here. So how I declare multiple widgets is hello1. Okay, I can just give comma and then keep typing. Okay, so it is asking me for directionality widgets also. Let me give. So don't bother about giving this text direction. Actually, we can, when we change the whole app into a material widget, it will not ask for that stuff. Okay, so you can see I have added 2 hellos. Let me add a raised button. Like in Flutter we have multiple types of button, something like flat button and raised button. So let me use a raised button. Okay, let it be null. So this also needs text directionality widget. So that's because they are discouraging us to use this like use without material design. Okay, so there is like there is nothing about directionality over here. So what we will do is, let's delete this. Okay, so let's change this app into a material app. Okay, so for that what I will do is I will just click over here. Guys, actually we have got only 3 minutes. Is it fine if we extend the class for few more minutes? Anyways, the recording will be available so that you will be able to see it again. Okay, okay, so what I can do is I can just go here, click here and add a widget. So it doesn't show me anything related to material widget. Okay, so I'm just like wrap with a widget. So a widget can be a column, container, padding, row, blah blah blah. See here, the interesting thing is padding is also a widget. Okay, margin might also be a widget. I'm not sure whether margin is there or not, but margin might also be a widget. See, the benefit of going with this code suggestions is it will add these brackets as required. So when you are coding manually in Notepad, you will find it's very difficult to add the brackets, right? Okay, so that's where this code suggestions will actually help me. For example, if I can simply add padding like this. Okay, so it actually added some value over here. Okay, so as long as it adds padding, that is fine. Okay, I can go here, wrap it with a widget. It is showing that give something like this. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give something like material app. Okay, and then material, as soon as I add some material, you can see the child is gone. Okay, child is having some issues. I'm going to go to new line and press enter, and you can see that there are some options over here. Okay, so the thing what I have to give for material app is home. Okay, so home is somewhere like as soon as I add something like material app, you can see things got changed. Okay, everything has got slightly bigger. Okay, if buttons are there, it will work slightly different. I can add buttons over here now. If you see, go here, raise button. Okay, so you can see button is added. Button is added without the text. Okay, so in order to add text to a button, again we have to give child. Okay, okay, see, you might be thinking that, so when I write raise button, how I will know that I need to give child only or on pressed? Okay, so all these things are available in documentation. Okay, so this documentation will not make sense unless you code continuously for maybe a month or like couple of months. Okay, or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, like continuously try to code, try to go with code suggestions. Unless until you practice it, you won't be able to understand that how, like, do I need to give child or on press, what I need to give. So everything will be there in documentation. Okay, I will go through documentation after writing some of the code. Okay, so now I have got a button. Okay, I got button here, so I will mention click here. Okay, so the thing is, one of the thing you might have observed is this is not looking good. Even though we are using material design, it's not looking good. The hello is in red in color, click here button is not good. So in order to, I think probably because the background is red. Okay, I will give something like green and see what will happen. So now it looks slightly better, but this is not exactly what we want. Okay, we don't want to leave our development over here, right? You can't continuously write apps like this. Okay, so you just imagine you need to add app bar. You have to move this container over to top, add some icons. Everything will be manual. If you are following this approach, everything will be manual. Okay, so Flutter is a latest framework, so we don't want to do things manually. We want everything like instantly, right? So in order to make this app look good instantly, what we can do is within Material app, for home we can add a new widget called scaffold. Okay, so scaffold, as soon as I add scaffold, you can see that child got error. Let's see what scaffold will take. Okay, and then you can see that scaffold has got something interesting. Is it has got app bar, it has got body. So these terminologies I have shared some time back, right? I didn't mention about drawer, that's okay. I mentioned about bottom sheet. Okay, so app bar, like bottom navigation bar, it's quite easy to understand directly. Okay, end drawer. Okay, floating action button. Okay, so the button what I have shown here, okay, this button, that is a floating action button. The button what we have added here is a raised button, but it's not having a good style. The text is not having good style. Okay, so now within scaffold we now know that it takes body but not child. Like if you see something like child, you can definitely use child, but child is not there. You have to give body. Okay, how we will know that we have to give body? That's through practicing. Okay, so there are certain things that will make sense, there are certain things that will not make sense, but you still have to follow like that. Okay, so I have given body and you can now see that how the app got changed. Okay, so for me this container with green color doesn't looks good. Okay, so let me remove this container. So I will just click on this bulb icon, remove this widget, and see now. Now it makes much better, but everything has went up. Now I would like to make everything center. Okay, so for that I can give a property to column. See, the column is going here. I want this column to populate from center. What I can do is I can go to column and just type main axis alignment. There, like for column and rows, there will be main axis alignment and cross axis alignment. So for column, the vertical line will be main axis alignment. If it is a row, horizontal line will be main axis alignment. So obviously cross axis alignment will be the opposite, main axis alignment, and then we have to give main axis alignment dot center. You can see that everything is moved to center. If I dot give end, okay, it moved to end. So I will make it center. Now much better, right? So I really don't like this button also. I can give something, some color to this text. Okay, let me see if color is like, see, in order to make this text colorful, I am trying to find something called color. So color is not there. It has got something called style. So let me use that style. What style takes? Style takes text style. And see, even though they said style takes text style, sometimes it will be not direct like this. Okay, so like it will not be direct in some cases. In some cases it will be very direct. I can just give text style. Why means, why I will show you. Text style, right? I will go to this code. This is not an abstract class. Okay, which means that that is fine. Like I can actually declare it like this. If it is an abstract class, I won't be able to declare like this. Okay, so what text style will take? So I can just see the text style has got color. Okay, so I'll give colors dot white. Okay, so razor button, can I change the color of the razor button? So I can just go to the color over here. Okay, colors dot okay, let me make it white. Okay, let me make this color red. It will look very bad, I guess. Okay, for some reason white also didn't take. Okay, so this color is not being reflected, but there might be a reason why it's not getting reflected. Okay, okay, so possibly because on pressure is null, right? That's why it's not showing that color. If I change something like this, if I change like this, you'll be able to see that button is actually functional. So in order to print, like in order to check whether the button is actually clickable or not, and if it is, this point of code is reached or not, that is where our debugging skills will come into picture. Okay, I can write something like this: print button is clicked. Okay, so when I click this button, you can see that button is clicked message is shown here. Okay, so this print statements you can actually use for debugging stuff. So now, like for now, we have used some things. So okay, so we have seen how to add column, text, razor button. So let me add something called like list view, for example. Okay, give me a second. Okay, so before going to list view, let's add a row. Okay, so within inside, like for example, within a column, I need these three widgets in horizontal. Okay, for example, I will have hello there. Okay, I have two widgets like this. Okay, I have two widgets like this. It doesn't look good like here, so I want these three widgets to be horizontal. So now within a column, what I will do is I will try to create something called row, and then I will add the row here. So just like row, just like column, columns are vertical, rows are horizontal. So columns are taking children, obviously row also will take children. I can just press control space and then see what is the recommendations, what are the recommendations. Okay, so don't worry about, like, see, never worry about knowing each and every property. Okay, so in computer science everything is possible. Okay, the only thing is you have to spend some time to understand what is what programming is capable of. Okay, like for example, if you are taking Flutter, you need to understand that what kind of mobile apps you can design. Okay, don't worry about coding like what I am doing. So like don't worry about what is main axis alignment, just go ahead and type it, keep on typing, you will understand, your brain will become sharp automatically. Okay, so now I am going to select this child, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy paste it here. Not only this, let me copy all these three stuff. Okay, and then execute it. You can see that everything has come in horizontal. So I want this thing to come into center. So I can give main axis element at center. So everything will have moved inside. So I think other thing what I can try is, if I don't want to use main axis element here, I think I can try this cross axis element. Okay, but it didn't work. So anyways, I tried, that's fine. Okay, so in programming everything is like trial and error only. Okay, just imagine some blocks, okay, some building blocks, something like that. Okay, so we are actually ensuring that in order to construct a home using building blocks, everything has to be in right place, right? So in programming also, our project is like the home which we want to build, and then we have to keep everything in right place. Okay, so we don't have to worry about what exactly, like when building home, we don't have to bother about what are the chemicals that are mixed in cement, what chemicals are mixed in paint. Okay, these things are not, we are not worried about it. We'll go with one brand or the other brand. In similar way, in programming also, you should not bother about the internals too much. As time passes on, you will know internals. Even after 10 years of experience also, you will not know anything about internals. As long as you are able to frame blocks correctly, the program will be working. Okay, so and any program, don't think like there is something like world class programming. Okay, when you see some YouTube video, you will think like, okay, these guys are really doing very complicated programming. No, there is nothing like that. Even if you are able to use if loop, switch case statements, do while, for loop, and able to produce some output, and if that is useful to someone, that is world class programming. Not like if you are using so much of complicated concepts and developing that program. No, not like that. It's good if your programming is long enough. Okay, for example, if your initial program is 100 lines of code, where same program can be written with 20 lines of code, don't bother about it during initial stages. Okay, you will learn them as time passes on. You will learn concept one by one. Initial days you will learn 10 concepts every day. As after 1 year, it will be like for a month you won't be learning one concept also. Okay, you will be thinking, I'm not learning anything. But in order to learn, you have to keep coding. You have to understand, okay, why we are using this, why you are not using this. Okay, this kind of stuff is important. So we will stop it here, like about coding. So the things what we have gone through is, okay, container, row, column, adding text, images I haven't shown you. Okay, button I have shown you, dialogues I will show tomorrow, adding images I will show tomorrow. Okay, list view I will show tomorrow, grid view I will show tomorrow. Okay, so and then we have actually seen the okay, what is material widget. We have just tried it. Okay, but don't worry about it. See, this is something what I have. So when I say list view, I'll run this program and show you. So this is a grid view example. So let this load. So this is a grid view. Okay, so I will change this to list view. I'm just calling a different function from here, and then I will try to resolve it by pressing control dot. Okay, so this is a list view. Okay, so I can grow that list view like this. So more items. Okay, and if I add like so many items, okay, it is actually scrollable also. Okay, so that's how we do it. But tomorrow we'll actually write a code for grid view and list view. So today you go, you try this, whatever I have done. You don't have to just write whatever I have written. Try to create a small program, remove everything, have this void main, and then like type everything, and you will see how is it going. I will share this program link with you, like whatever I have written. So for today what I will do is I will share you this program, whatever I have written for you, so that you can actually copy paste and run this stuff. Okay, and for those guys who are interested in digging further, you can just go to flutter.io. Okay, and then click on docs. So click on this widget catalog. If you don't see this option, just scroll down, there is something like widget index. Okay, so in widget index you will be able to see so many things. Okay, so many things will be there. But trust me, programming is not about by hearting. Programming is not about remembering names. Okay, programming is not about reproducing what you have learned. Okay, it's not about that. It's about framing the blocks together well. Okay, you don't have to bother about what chemicals are included, who is the manufacturer. You don't have to care about it. It's just a preference. I want to go with this branded cement, I want to go with this branded paint. That's just a preference, but still people are constructing houses with whatever brand they use. Okay, so there are number of things over here. For example, as I said, container, you can just search for container. Okay, you will see number of containers. Just go with the right container. Okay, so this is a container, we have used this container. So yeah, this document says that everything is a widget. If you are using a card in your app, it is a widget. Button bar, there are two buttons. One button is a widget, a button bar is also a widget. Bottom sheet with so many buttons, so many options is also a widget. Checkbox with so many items is also a widget. Chips are widget. Okay, everything is a widget in Flutter. So the takeaway from this class is everything is a widget. Combination of widgets is also a widget. Okay, so you can actually go through go to this documentation, and then you can actually try to look at the examples. So if I want to try this example, what I can do is I can just simply copy this code, go to this program, and then I can just copy paste it here. Okay, I have to get the right starting and ending brackets. Okay, so when I just click here, a white line has been highlighted here. So you can see this is the center. Okay, I can just select it. Okay, and if I run it, I will see the output like this. You can try so many examples. Okay, it's very important to keep trying the examples. As long as you know how to try many examples, you'll understand what Flutter is capable of. When you arrange them properly, you will be able to write multiple programs. Okay, see, there might be 100 topics in Flutter, but if you learn 10 topics also, you will be able to write some project. Okay, by using that 10 topics effectively, you will be able to write some project. Don't think like only if I learn at least 90 topics out of this, I will be able to write some program. There is nothing like that. Okay, by using if loop, for loop, and then small widgets, you will be able to write some programs for sure. Okay, so I think we will end this call here today. Okay, so hope I was able to provide you some insight about how we write some programs. And then if you see one of the last things I want to mention, if you see this example, I have actually created multiple files over here. Okay, so whatever I have typed, I have just created a new file over here, and then container 2 dot and then I ensure that whatever code I have written, I have just copy pasted over here. Okay, so my target is, what we will make is, from this app, if this app is run, we will get a menu bar where we'll have multiple options. Okay, something like this. So we will be like, with whatever basics we are going to learn, we are going to create something like this. Okay, so there will be a menu bar like this, and we'll have options like container, buttons, list view, grid view, and for everything we'll have an option, so that all topics you can verify from single app only. So you are actually going to develop a modular program which will have multiple folders. Okay, so developing modular program will actually help you to divide your problem into multiple problems. Okay, multiple smaller problems. So if I want to modify a button, I can just go here and modify it. If I want to modify list view, I know that this is a list view. If every code is over here single document, it will be like 1000 lines of code, and it will be very difficult for me to search. However, IDEs provide some interface. For example, I'm using my list view, right? I can just click here and go to implementation. Okay, it didn't take me because it's not an implementation, it's not a method, it's a class. I can go for definition. Okay, so you will understand all this stuff slowly, but the important thing is start coding. You can, what you can do is, you can go to flutter.io. 5 more minutes guys, we'll close it. Go to user interface. Okay, go to development, no sorry, tutorials, cookbook, and there are number of examples which you can try. For since you are starting, just go there and try to copy paste these examples and try. Those who don't have an IDE, like Flutter setup on your local machine, you can just run over here and see the examples. Okay, for example, if I take my example from here and just copy paste and then run, you are able to see the output. Okay, so try to fix your setup issues on the other side. Try to use dotpad.dev to run your sample programs and see the output. Okay, so running as many programs will help you to understand what Flutter is capable of. Okay, the thing what we are seeing here is a real app. It's not a console app or something. It's a real app. By adding multiple containers, you can actually develop a game. Okay, by adding some small animation, you can actually develop a game. Okay, so so tomorrow we will see these topics: adding images, dialogues, list view, grid view. Okay, tomorrow we'll be directly starting with programming and then adding app bar, bottom bar, and then we will, like, if you want further, if you want to, you can try this also. There are videos already available for this stuff. Okay, so we will stop this class here today. Thank you so much. Sorry for extending the class, because I really want to give you some good insight about programming. Okay, so if you are having any queries, reach me out. Okay, you guys have my phone number, right? If you are joining today only, try to send me a message from your mobile app so that I will be able to send the future classes information, like classes details also. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much.